has restarted. He decided to leave. I don't believe he's in the hallway. He's vacated. We're having a healthy discussion here, and it would be in his best interest to answer our questions, but he decided to leave. I'll yield back.
Ms. McGee?
This is for our attorney. I have concerns because I've seen the success of having a coffee shop at a city hall. There are other city halls out here that have coffee shops. They have several restaurants in there. The city of Detroit, they have plenty of them. So I would like to understand how is it working for them and it can't work for us. Because we're the third largest city. I keep saying that. And you do have people, you know, every time I come to our city hall location, you have people working there, working from home, and they're working in that area, and they may want something to drink or a cup of coffee every now and then, whether it be a person that's outside, have a truck, or, you know, whatever we can do to try to assist them for their little coffee break. So I am interested in knowing how is it successfully working for them and it can't work for us.
Councilwoman, that's a great question. I can tell you, I worked for 6 years for the state of Michigan at the Attorney General's office. I was downtown at Cadillac Place. It's was at one time the largest office building in the world, and it was a state-owned building. So the state of Michigan purchased it from General Motors. General Motors moved to the RenCen. So in this entire state-owned building, we had a Subway, we had a coffee shop, there was a barber shop, but these were things that were not operated by the state of Michigan. The state had a lease, and they paid rent, and then they offered those services. So I think that your suggestion earlier that maybe if we do this in the reverse, there might be a deal to be had, might be something that's government, legitimate government purpose, leasing space to a private entity. Then that private entity has its own insurance, it has its own employees, it takes on the risk of that. But it has to be something that is feasible. I heard that there was maybe a informal discussions with local coffee shops that declined it. I don't know, maybe if they put out an RFP and put some parameters, they could get a response from somebody that's not in Warren that would come and or maybe a startup would come and bid on this project, and they would put in the infrastructure too. So, you know, there was a Subway I could go to. Eventually, that Subway, the lease wasn't renewed for some reason. But again, there's market forces at play. So it's not that Warren can't do it. It's just that, you know, the state of Michigan or the city of Detroit is not going in and building out a sandwich shop and then leasing it after you pay to build it. So I think that's the difference here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, just a point of order. I'm getting some reports that the TV transmission has frozen. I don't know if you're hearing that, Ms. Patrick, but that's the report I'm getting right now.
I wanted to note, I did put up a poll on Facebook for this, just into one of our community sections, because I didn't have a super strong opinion one way or another. And the folks that did respond, I would say there were some that thought it was a great idea, a small number. Many thought it was a fantastic idea, but didn't want $100,000 of tax revenue to be spent. They wanted it spent on their park or some other very worthy cause. And I also just wanted to note that we've talked a bit and folks have brought up, you know, giving away $100,000. And I do think it's important that we don't glorify this $100,000, and vilify the $100,000, because we give away millions of dollars in tax abatements every year. We give away lots, not every year, lots of money, taxpayer dollars. And I just want to like frame this in that conversation. Like the North Point development, we gave $12.6 million in a 12-year industrial property tax, facilities tax, where we were essentially holding their taxes. We would have generated potentially more money from that property. So I just want to frame the $100,000, well, it is a lot of money, that, you know, this is not something that we don't do in the city, and that we often do it to generate economic development, because those businesses are also private enterprises in the same way that this coffee truck would be a private enterprise. So, Okay, I will call the question. The motion is to deny. Mr. Lafferty?
Yes to deny.
Ms. Moore?
Yes to deny.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes to deny.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes to deny.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan sees a yes. Next item.
13I, request to approve an RFP for General Motors dealer OEM parts and service and to appoint one council representative. Motion to approve.
Not me.
I'll serve.
Oh, good. Motion to approve, Ms. McGee.
Support.
Thank you, Mr. Lafferty.
Thank you, Ms. McGee.
All in favor of Ms. McGee?
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations. Next item.
Next item is audience participation.
Thank you. Ms. Sanker, if you want to speak during audience, please put your form in the bin. Next, or first, is Mr. Watts. After Mr. Watts is Ms. Harris. Oops, sorry, hold on, Mr. Watts, I had to turn the microphone off. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't know where to start, but thanks for passing the library. Now to see it through, that it doesn't get stonewalled by the mayor's office again. And I'm just taken back by what Mr. Lafferty said about an email coming that she wasn't supporting a library. I thought she was an educator. I mean, she treats the residents like a fourth grader. You'd think she'd want to have a library for the students down there. Doesn't make any sense to me. Absolutely no sense. So, on the way here tonight, from 13 in Hayes to here, I counted no less than 7 properties on Hayes with their cars parked on their front lawn. And probably 25 blighted properties that should have been dealt with, I don't know, some time ago. Now, I've been pretty nice. Mr. Mazzarelli's been really good to work with. But I find it interesting that we supposedly have 9 inspectors. We have 2 community outreach people. I'm not even an elected official anymore, and I still get calls every day about not being able to get anything done out of City Hall. They call the mayor's office, no return phone calls. Well, you know what? We're giving 2 people $90,000 in an office to be community outreach people. I'd like to know who the hell they're outreaching to, because they're not doing anything. This place is a disaster, absolute disaster. The other thing, I know you guys are aware that the fire department's 10-year ISO report came in, and if we would have had a fire training center, we could have got 35 more points. Now, I'm going to do something about this later on and talk about it in depth at another meeting. But I just read back there on Facebook, Grand Rapids is having groundbreaking this week for a $46 million fire training center. And they got somewhere in the area of 25 or 30 million from the state. Now, I'd like to know what our representatives are doing in Lansing for us. We got, you know, my Zong is always blabbing stuff on Facebook. I haven't seen her bring $1 here. I haven't seen McKinney bring $1 here. You know, we got to give Mr. McFall a chance. I know that our Senator Bueno got some money for the fire department for heavy rescue, so, and maybe some ADA stuff. But I think we need to get better action out of Lansing. So, appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you. Next is Lori Harris.
Well, I don't have a whole lot to say because I kind of said it before, but I wanted to read what I didn't read during the agenda part because let's see. Well, apparently I tore that off on my paper. So what I didn't say is that I didn't trust the mayor. And hearing what Mr. Lafferty said, that's very disappointing. I'm not surprised. I wish I was surprised. It doesn't, I don't understand what her benefit is at stonewalling this project. And I'm very disappointed. Thank you for voting for the library, for voting down the expensive coffee shop. And at this point, I can't even remember what else I wanted to talk to you guys about. I would like to say to the people that are listening that Curtis Ostosh should have never been left on the senior commission anyway. And right when Lori Stone took office, I sent her an email, and she responded by email. I let her know that he was a convicted felon. And she said, unless she had proof, she couldn't act on it. So I managed to send her the proof, and still nothing happened. And I asked her a couple community conversations ago why he was still on a commission as a felon, and she said she was going to keep him there. So clearly this is a problem. He shouldn't be there anyway, but being in arrears to the city is also a big problem. And I'll be really glad to see him not be on a commission. Thanks.
Thank you. Next is Joel Vanderlinden and then Gloria Sanker.
Joel Vanlin, longtime Warren resident. Mr. Watts came and started about property maintenance not doing their job. I brought up to everyone here on this council that most of those inspectors are not properly trained. They don't have their certificate from the International Property Maintenance Code, and they were not sworn in by the city clerk. And then the question comes to be is, I put this out back in June on a FOIA. I got a thing that asking for a 10-day extension and not heard a thing since. I have put out 3 other FOIAs in other areas, and I have gotten nothing back. I brought this up. I even talked to Ms. Michaels about it at the end of the last meeting. Nothing. Mr. Lafferty, you asked the question, why Ms. Stone doesn't get anything done. You don't understand why. It is incompetency. She doesn't care. This is just a paycheck to pay for the next 4 years for doing nothing. She is ruining the city. And everyone, pay attention. We have a vote coming up about the police. Well, what the hell is Stone known for? She wanted to defund the police when she was at the state level in Lansing. And she didn't get it done there, so now she comes back to Warren and she ain't doing nothing about this vote. Nothing for the police officers, nothing for the shortages and anything else. You haven't read one thing in the papers or anything else about this vote to bring more money back to the police officers so we can get a full crew. I know there's worries and concerns. Will she take care of that money properly? No, she won't. But you have 9 council members here who will make damn sure that that money goes to the police department, officers are hired, and you are being protected and taken care of properly. Damn it, you should have removed her when you had the chance.
You're at 10 seconds, Mr. Vanderlyn.
Thank you. You all have a blessed day.
Thank you. Ms. Sanker?
Thank you for voting no on item 13H. It is apparent from watching Channel 5 that the mayor is taking every opportunity to welcome in every nationality in our city. Well, while that is good, it's also noticed that she is ignoring our American traditions. And by doing so, she is snubbing the American population by doing away with our Christian traditions that have been around for thousands of years. When I watch the news and they report all that crime, as you mentioned tonight, Ms. Moore, it is astounding that she would not perpetuate the good that has been established in our government by Christian ideals. There's only two choices after all, good or evil. Christian values only bring good. Why would she exclude them? Namely, the Christmas manger, the prayer station, and the National Day of Prayer. Society is in so much need of positive input. Why would she remove what we had in place for years? The Christmas manger, the prayer station, and the National Day of Prayer that have all been apart for years with great success in our city. Why would the mayor abolish these? Why would she stop something that inspires goodness? Haven't we got enough negative? It makes me wonder if she knows her American history and the part that God has in the establishment of our government. We should not have to fight for our Christian rights that have already been established by the framers of the Constitution. We are not establishing a religion. We are providing positive incentive for the community. It's all right to say, God bless you, have a blessed day, and in God we trust, just as it is most acceptable to have the Christian Christmas manger, the prayer station, and the National Day of Prayer. We are, after all, one nation under God. These rights have been found and fought for and won by American soldiers and American courts. Warren is a major Christian community. Don't go backwards in our history to shut out what has already been fought for, namely, God has a place in our government at every level. Don't try to limit what is limitless, and don't try to ignore what is. Thank you.
Thank you. That is the end of audience. Next item.
Response to audience by council members.
Hearing and seeing none. Next item.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Good night, everyone.